Hi, my name is Sophia Luu, and I'm an apparel designer and researcher in my senior year at Iowa State. While many reasons inspired me to pursue apparel design, one large part was the desire to make the industry more inclusive, particularly for individuals with long-term illnesses and disabilities. Observing my mother's cancer battle and its effect on self-esteem and dignity was a key factor for the formulation of this goal. I love design because of the ability to make beautiful solutions that enrich people's lives. Alluu is the culmination of my past 4 years of design training, but it's only the beginning of what I hope to do for inclusive design. Adaptive clothing has been developing within the industry. Target and Tommy Hilfiger and marketplaces such as Zappos and Patty and Ricky have burgeoning collections of garments fit for individuals with differing abilities and needs. While they bring offerings of adaptive apparel to the mass market, there is still a lack of clothing that may be considered fashion rather than just apparel. This is especially pertinent for younger millennials and individuals in Gen Z who find the current product offerings a little too stale for their aesthetic and expressive needs. The purpose of the Alluu collection is to progress the development of adaptive androgynous fashion. Alluu keeps a universal design strategy in mind by thinking of a garment's equity in use for people with diverse abilities and flexibility in use, thinking of how a design can accommodate a wide range of preferences, all while incorporating a more creative aesthetic. With these goals in mind, the research begins. In order to gain a real-world experience for this collection development, I worked with 2 students from Iowa State. Morgan is a 31-year-old student pursuing 2 master's degrees. Morgan's impairments especially affect his movement, energy level, and create chronic pain. He mainly uses a wheelchair, needs stretch in his clothing, and it is extremely important that redesigned adaptive clothing is more exciting. September is a 23-year-old with goals of becoming an art conservationist. They enjoy digital art and theater. September has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which especially affects their movements and energy level. They use a wheelchair and crutches and once again want more exciting options that are comfortable. Besides the interviews, I analyzed 14 survey responses from individuals with varying impairments. I also interviewed an occupational therapist about impairments and their effects on dressing, as well as a secondary consultation after the creation of my designs. Regarding impairments, most individuals were affected in their movement, level of energy, and coping with chronic pain. Regarding mobility aids, 33% used orthotic devices, 22% used canes, and 17% used wheelchairs. While 36% of participants had good fine motor coordination, 50% had poor and average fine motor coordination. When questioning about closures, magnetic snaps were appreciated. Participants had a healthy relationship with pockets, which heavily influenced future design processes. In sum, I will focus on making garments that are adaptive to physical impairments, considering easy fatigue and seated lower bodies. Additionally, a lack of garments for formal occasions was suggested by the results, so I will aim for pieces flexible for a variety of occasions. Section 2 discusses inspiration and materials. My inspiration came from architecture, fine art, amorphous shapes, and a solemn sense of questioning the state of 2020. Coloring is classic, but just slightly more colorful than offerings from other adaptive brands. Here is my color palette. Here are key trends I'd like to incorporate. Pockets are a must from the surveys. For seated figures, vertical and diagonal lines help to lengthen the body since it tends to look shorter than it is in a seated position. Proportion is vital to this collection in order to offset and enhance specific body shapes. Fabrics were primarily blends for serviceability purposes like stretch, durability, and care. Besides survey results, fabric selection was guided by Morgan and September's preferences. Citizens can also engage with a mass customization process for their garments, selecting prints while shopping online or at an in-store kiosk. This was an important factor as many adaptive apparel brands lack any mass customization. Trims really make it for the adaptive collections. Elastic and magnets especially help with donning and doffing. Zippers are for the pocket closures, and the elastic loops and buttons are used for pant cuffing. And here is my final collection. Look 1 consists of a back opening, roll-up long sleeve, as well as a seated and standing straight leg knit pant. Look 2 consists of a curve cutout vest and drop shoulder long sleeve with side slits. The pants are particularly designed for a seated body with a higher rise in the back and lower rise in front and are made completely from rayon spandex. This ensemble was made with Morgan in mind. Look 3 consists of a low-high vest with a front and back opening. The long sleeve has a slight A-line flare for more comfort in a wheelchair. The pants are less adaptive toward seated figures, but still utilize comfort details like a knit waistband and rib panels. Look 4 consists of an open back lapel long sleeve with a mini magnet placket for dressing from the front or simply pulling over the head. The pants are length adjustable to create full-length pants while seated or for aesthetic preference. The hip-length rib cuff jacket utilizes rib cuffs for ease in forearm crutches, as well as side slits for comfort when sitting. Action pleats are incorporated in the armholes, magnetic snaps are used, and internal patch pockets create ease for drain accommodations. The standing straight leg woven pant has a standard waistband with elastic pull handles, flat felt seams, and length adjustability. Look 6 is my final look and my other creation, specifically for September. The cropped pocket blazer design utilizes a flange action back for ease of movement, as well as rib cuffs for ease with crutches. Internally, the armholes are flat-felled. The jacket has a zippered pocket on the lapel, magnetic snap closures, an internal patch pocket, and a back mesh panel. For the seated and standing pants, the rise is just slightly extended in the back for more comfort while being seated, but not so much to take away from the look while standing. With September's condition rendering their skin very elastic and sensitive, flat-felled seams were utilized inside and out on all pant seams. The pants are again length adjustable.
I'm going to wear the pants with pretty much anything. I think they're going to be really easy to dress up or dress down. The jacket, I really like how crisp it is. How crisp all the lines are and all the pockets. I love the pockets. The pants, I think, are just honestly one of the most comfortable pairs of pants I've ever worn. The fabric is very soft, and I like how they feel.
I could wear anything. If someone could invent something that looked classy but was comfortable, I'd wear it. I feel that the way you dress influences people subconsciously as to how helpless you are. Like when I'm sitting there looking like kind of dumpy with a t-shirt on, I look more helpless. I feel like if you can dress nicely, it kind of shows confidence.
Well, I really loved the fit of it, and it looked classy but was still comfortable, which is very hard for me to find, particularly the pants. They didn't look like sweatpants, but they were still super comfortable. I love the pockets. Especially when I'm in a wheelchair, it's really hard to find pockets I can use, so that was amazing.
Alluu innovates through its attitude for design for all. While it seeks to meet functional needs, it also seeks to meet self-expressive needs of wearers that have often been forgotten. Finally, I'd like to end with a quote from disability activist Melissa Blake. Fashion isn't going to solve all the world's problems, but I think when disabled people are included, it sets a message that we deserve a seat at the table in all aspects of life, frivolous or not. Thank you for attending my collection presentation today. I greatly appreciate it.